Did Lego copy this set from Loz? Let's build it and find out. What's up everyone, I'm Stonewall. I hope you enjoyed that speed build. This is Loz Blocks set number 1027 of the Taj Mahal. It has 1,987 pieces. If you are unfamiliar with Loz Blocks, their bricks are pretty much like Lego. They are just 75% the size. To give you a size comparison, here's two brick separators. So they feel a lot smaller than 75%, but if you measure them, that's what they are. So this is a pretty cool set I've had for a while. I've just never gotten around to build it. It came out at the same time as 3 other architecture style buildings. So these 4 sets were released all at the same time. The Tower Bridge, Taj Mahal, which we're talking about now, the Burj al Arab, and the Arc de Triomphe. I have these 3 other sets as videos on my channel as well, so if you're interested, be sure to check out the link in the description and also put a card at the end of this video as well. So like I said, I've had this set for a while. But just recently, a few days ago, I noticed that Lego is making a new smaller Taj Mahal in their architecture line styling. And when I saw that, I was like, did they copy this one? So just a disclaimer, I have no clue if they copied it or not, or were inspired, or even knew the existence of this. I am not saying that they necessarily did, but you gotta admit, they look pretty similar. Taking a closer look, we see that this Taj Mahal looks really good. It's got a lot of detail. It looks awfully similar to the new Lego architecture line Taj Mahal that's coming out. So I don't know about that, but this set looks really good. There's actually a lot of things on here that I think they did better than the Lego set. First off, we have the main building here, along with the center section. It's got the 4 spires and the main central dome. All that's on a kind of a foundation with all these arches, and then there's 4 spires, one on each corner. Compared to the Lego set, I think this dome actually looks a little bit better. I think the shape's a little better. On the Lego one, it looked a little more sphere, and it's supposed to kind of be more like a kind of an onion shape. So I think they did a pretty good job on that. There are, I think, 18 of these things I had to clip in, and it is a pretty snug fit. So you could easily get by with just doing 17. It would still look really good and be a lot easier to put in. But once you get them all in there, it looks pretty good. Looks like I might have them slanted a little bit, but like I said, it was a pretty snug fit. I also think that these side domes, sorry, I don't know all the terminology on this architectural building, but I think these side domes look a little better than the Lego one as well. The Lego one has like these arms, and these have kind of window panes, and I think it just looks a little more realistic with those. The main thing I think this one did better than the Lego one are these 4 corner spires. On the Lego set, they just look too thin. I think the scale is a little closer to the scale of the rest of the building. I think these look really good, like with those upside down gear pieces and everything. The foundation, like the main area that the building is on, I think looks really good. It's got all these arches everywhere, which I think on the, at least looking at photos on the real Taj Mahal, those are more reliefs rather than like doorways, which the Lego set uses those gold bars to kind of show indentations, where this one goes all the way through. But these are actually arched like they are on the real building, so I think it's a nice alternative. It could go either way. They have all these little tan studs on top just to, I guess, give it a little color and represent like it's kind of a railing. One thing that's really cool is that they included the stairs here. So in the Taj Mahal, here's the front of it, and you go around, and there's a little entryway here, and then there are stairs that go up to the main deck. So that's really cool that they included that. That is a nice detail. Looks like there's like 3 or 4 stairs in there, so that's really cool. This whole set sits on a 32 by 32 base plate, which does have some warp. I don't know if you noticed in the speed build or not, but at the beginning it was bowed up, so the middle was, I kept having to push down, and then shortly after I got started, the corners were bowing up, so it went from convex to concave, and that's just because of all the tension on the stuff on top, I guess. You wouldn't notice it at all just having the set, but building the stop motion, it might have moved a little bit, so that's the reason for that. Just spinning around, the other 3 sides look pretty identical. It's just that first side that has that kind of jut out of the deck. This set has a lot more kind of greebling, like all these are built with more pieces than the Lego set, which I think is kind of nice. I do like on the Lego set, the arch here in the middle is a little more representative, where this is just a curved arch. The main thing, you've probably already been looking at it and wondering about it, are these, what are these big blue rail pieces, like from a rack and pinion? They're in trans blue, and they're just along the arch. What are those for? If you look at the Taj Mahal and even like the old Lego Creator Expert set, there are accents of light blue, like you see on this set as well. And that's because it looks like on the Taj Mahal, there's a lot of inscription or inlay of blue around the door frames and everything. So I think that's what that's supposed to be representing, but that is just way too much blue. It would look better without it. And I'll do a couple modifications here in a second and show you how you can easily improve this set to make it look a little better. The other thing that is not quite as good, I mean, it looks fine. You wouldn't notice it unless you're comparing it with the either Lego set or real images of the Taj Mahal. The only other thing that looks a little off is these heights are different. So like here and here kind of goes up and down, whereas in the real Taj Mahal, those are all level. So looking up at front, this is higher as well as this one, and looks a little off, but I'll show you that mod too. You can just take a couple plates off and fix that easy peasy. So this set, compared to the Lego one, does not have an interior chamber that you can access or look at it. I assume in real life it's kind of the tomb room. But yeah, this one doesn't open up. But to me, that's not that big of a thing, because this is more of a thing you look at rather than play with. But just thought I'd let you know. Forgot to mention, it also comes with the Taj Mahal Loz Mini name badge, like the Architecture series have. As you can guess, it is a bit of repetitive building. It's not too bad. I still enjoyed it. It went by a lot faster than I thought it would. So it's pretty fun to build, but there is some repetition. Like any kind of representation of a building in real life, just because that's how we make buildings in real life, with repetition, because it's cheaper that way and easier. So looking at the back side, I'll show you, if you don't like these blue rail pieces because they are just kind of obnoxious, all you have to do is pop those off. And voila, that looks like 100 times better. You see these studs, but I think that just kind of looks like greubling of the rest of the model, so I think that looks fine. And let me pop these, fix these side pieces and show you how you can do that too. Alright, so there you go. All I did was take off two of these 1x1 plates each of the 3 feet on each of the corner sections, and that lowered it down so they're more of the same height. This tan line even lines up now. You could leave this blue one on these 2 feet of this arch if you want. It would just be on the ground instead of one up like that one is, so just letting you know there. So I think this looks more representative of the building, that they're even heights now, or closer to even heights. Doing that mod there, I realized why they had it higher, and it's because now this piece kind of hits this level, so it's, I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of leaning forward a little bit. It's not completely, I mean, it's not going to move, but it's leaning forward a little bit more than it should be. So I think they heightened that up so there'd be a little more clearance everywhere. But if that doesn't bother you, I think this is a good alternative if you want the levels to be similar. Let me know in the comments if you like these changes, or if you think the model is good enough as it is, or if you prefer it the way it was originally. I definitely think I'm going to be taking off those blue translucent blue pieces there. These I might leave on, but I'm definitely going to take those off. I think that looks a lot better. So I really like this set. I think Loz in general is a great alternative to Lego. I obviously collect both of them, but Loz is a lot smaller as well as a lot cheaper, which makes it a good choice to collect. So if you were eyeing the new Lego Taj Mahal, or even that old one that's coming out, but say you don't have enough room to display it, or you just don't want to shell out that much money for it, I think this is a great alternate. It is a lot smaller, and it only costs, I think, like $32 from AliExpress. And I think they did a really good job with this one. There are like a couple things, like I mentioned, that I would change. Like I'm going to take off these 3 blue pieces on each entryway. But other than that, I think this is a great set, and I think even some of the features on this are better than that new Lego one coming out. I'm really curious to see what y'all think about it in the comments. I imagine most people are just going to like Lego better no matter what, kind of like people do with Apple or other products they love. But just let me know in the comments what you think. I think it's a really good set. So it's a good choice if you don't have the money or the space, or you're just looking for something else to build. I'm curious to know what y'all think about it. Let me know in the comments whether you think this is a pretty good set, if it's better or worse, or should be burned because it's not a Lego, or you think Lego stole this idea, or maybe they somehow got a leaked thing from Lego. But I mean, I bought this set last November, and I know it was at least online in September, maybe even before that of last year, and that Lego one's just now coming out in June of this year. So I don't know how they would have copied Lego, but it might have just been a thing where they both saw Taj Mahal and said, let's make a smaller version. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. That way you won't miss the next video once it is released. Otherwise, hope you have a good day.